Seventh consecutive T20 World Cup final for Australia Women's. Wow. Hi, I am Bhumit Majmudar. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Wickets. And with me, as always, I have Sanket Vora and Bhavik Mehta. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Bhumit. Good morning, Bhavik. How are you?
Good morning, and while it's a slightly saddish morning, considering what would have been if you think like that, what might have been, but at the same time, I think all credit to Australian women, but at the same time, I think our girls did phenomenally well. It was a superb semi-final in all contests, and especially the way Smriti and Rodriguez played and made a absolute match out of it. It was a very close finish.
Absolutely, Bhavik. It certainly is a heartbreak for us, but I would correct you. It wasn't Smriti. It was Harmanpreet.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, it was
And
Harmanpreet. Yeah.
just
Don't take a credit
replicated.
away, man. She played well only in one match. So you shouldn't.
No, apologies to the women's cricket and apologies to
Smriti
the
played well in the rest of the tournament, but it was Harmanpreet who stood up
yeah,
when it
Harmanpreet.
mattered.
Yeah.
And when you talk about that, man, these semi-finals and the runouts, what's up with that, yeah?
Yeah, they are haunting us
Yeah.
since long. 2019 World Cup, MS Dhoni got run out in the semi-finals. We got knocked out, and the same thing happened. Harmanpreet was looking so good. We could have just taken away the match from Australia. Australia had given up at that moment, I assume. But uh, I mean, moments like this, they keep the game going, right? It's never
But
a one-sided game.
but I mean, to be fair, it's not only true for India. I mean, let's put it this. Let's. You remember the 2015 semi-final, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand,
Yeah,
Yeah.
where there was a critical run-out moment which AB de Villiers missed, and rest is history. So I think it's as Sanket rightly put, it's these key moments uh, which define the possibility.
Hmm. And anyways, I guess to be fair to Australian team, they currently are looking a step above the rest of the teams who are playing women's cricket. But oh man, that was a heartbreak. We were so close. We were so close. I was so happy, and finally looked like we'll be beating, or there'll be one team that would step up against Australia and beat them. But then bat getting stuck into wicket. I don't know. We should probably bring those wicket pundits back on this thing. How bad the wicket is if your bat gets stuck in that? Should have been a huge crack there.
no, it happens with anybody, and we cannot blame the wickets for that. See the score at the end of the day, 170 to 1. We almost
Yeah,
chased it,
yeah.
right? So uh, you cannot get a better wicket than that.
Mm.
I would say that Australia did ride on their share of luck. Some misfields from Indian fielders, as well as some sloppy
Oh yeah, definitely.
fielding, dropped catches, and I would say first half, at the completion of first half, it was all Australia written, and I would say we did not deserve at the end of the first half to win this. Uh, but the way we came back in the second innings after losing early wickets, commendable. And you couldn't have raised more hopes than this. And Harmanpreet and Jemima, they basically just took away the game away from the Aussies.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Almost.
Let's hope that we are just as close as we can get and uh, beat them the next time around.
So I don't know. I should bring this topic up, but with women's IPL around the corner, what we have seen is all our Indian players who played BBL, women's BBL, they've been doing
Mhm.
pretty well, and they've been able to absorb and handle the pressure pretty well at international level too, compared to the other players. So let's hope women's IPL comes around the corner. They start playing a lot of T20 franchise cricket, and that's where even they'll build the rest of the players build that confidence to carry the team in pressure situations. Wow, Bhavi's going all multicolor today.
Yeah,
Well, it seems there is.
I'll agree, Bhumit. Even men's cricket got immensely changed and upgraded to a different level after the IPL started.
Hmm.
Playing with the international players, the local players got all that help. They got their exposure to play in pressure situation, and let's see, the women also get benefited from this, and I'm actually hopeful that 2 3 years down the line will be a force to beat.
Hmm. Yeah, let's hope so. Fingers crossed for that. All
I
right.
think my
So, yeah, yeah.
my computer is also disturbed with the loss of yesterday, so it's not properly operating. And anyways, yeah. So yes, I think the road definitely is. We can only go uphill from here, and that's what definitely will likely to happen with the women's IPL. More competitiveness in the
Yeah.
game, and more number of players for selectors to choose from.
Hmm.
So certainly that will benefit women's cricket. Fingers
True.
crossed.
Definitely, definitely. Right. So let's move on to the dessert now, or the main course, should I say? India, Australia. It was a hell of a two matches, and then there were some really, really funny tweets and reactions coming up after the end of second match, especially. Um, yeah, Bhavik, if you want to share, you can start sharing, or uh,
Before I go there, I would also like to say that Australia have been washed by India on the ground, and they've been washed by their own critics as well as this Twitterati and memes experts on internet as well. So it's been a
uh,
complete wash for them.
I would say it's India Australia is the flavor of the season, and previously we started the episode with India Australia. It was for women, where we were washed away, but now we are talking about the BGT Border Gavasker Trophy, where at Arun Jaitley Stadium we have ensured that nothing changed from the Nagpur Test match. Neither the result, uh, the duration of the match, everything remained the same. The way Australia fought, there was nothing new coming from them. And yeah, we managed it pretty easily.
yeah, everyone was so
Ab-
happy, and I'd like to give you a gesture that is probably very famous now in Australia. Well commented. Uh, all right, I guess
yeah,
we can start sharing the
You
screen.
can keep mocking Steven Smith. Let's see how he comes back and uh, gives us a hard run for the remaining two test matches. You can
Yeah,
never rule out Aussies, right?
that's true. That's true. But yeah, I don't know. They're looking less Aussies as the tour goes on, with so many injuries also cropping up now and so many changes.
Yeah, the misery doesn't end for Australia by only losing two tests, right? They have injuries, lack of
Hmm.
form of certain players, top order players, some personal issues to deal with. David Warner, Matt Renshaw, Josh Hazelwood, Mitchell Sweepson, Ashton Agar, Pat Cummins, and oh, it's almost half a dozen players. What do
Yeah.
you say?
Pat Cummins is likely to return, but the rest of them are definitely not returning. And well, when Kohli returned to India uh, in 2020-21 BGT series in Australia, there was a whole hue and cry about the player going back and all this stuff. Now you have almost half a dozen players going back, as you rightly said.
Uh,
And
mo- yeah, but most of them are due to injury.
yes, yes.
I would say David Warner, Matt Renshaw, and Josh Hazelwood. They three have left for injury purposes. Yes, Mitchell Swipson, uh, who actually left India on arrival of his first child. Ashton Agar is struggling with form. I don't understand how do you select a team and then midway send your player back, considering he's not in form. I mean that's surprising. And Pat Cummins, yeah, some personal issues, but hopefully should be back. Oh, we are looking at the memes.
Yeah. I thought let's just pull these up. There were some really, really good and funny ones there.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
Yeah, so first, before we move on to the funny ones, this one, well, man, that's some real serious deal there. 25,000
Some
international
serious
runs.
numbers.
Yeah.
Some
Good.
serious numbers.
And to think of it, he hasn't been playing in test for last 3 years now.
Yeah, absolutely. Since 2020, there is no century scored from Virat, which he is known to. I mean, it's his bread and butter. He was doing it day in and day out till 2019, I would say, not 20. And you can see that he has struggled. Let's accept that. But looking at the last match that he played, I would say that he looked very determined,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
a big score is just around the corner,
Mm.
I assume.
But Nitin Menon was also as determined as him. So then, yeah.
the the memes shows that, yeah. 19 February 2100 and World Cup debut. This was against Bangladesh. And 19 February 2027, fastest to 25,000 international run. Wow, what a feat! Amazing.
And when you talk about his struggle in 19 from 19 end onwards to especially in 2020 2021 and most of 2022, he's already turned it around in white ball cricket, so it's just a
Mm.
matter of time that is replicated in red ball cricket as well.
Mm. But that is
And
what
to be
test.
fair to him, we have not been playing on pitches which allow batting friendly conditions, so
Mm.
Come
uh,
on. He's a 25,000 international run veteran.
no 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 I'm
You do
not.
not need a batting friendly wicket to score runs.
Well,
No,
probably
I
you
didn't
That
mean
need
to
when
say
you are
that.
in his
No,
form.
I didn't mean to say that. But what I meant to say is, like, you need little bit of rub of green to go your way. Some of the things when you're struggling, you need certain small things to go your way.
shouldn't the logic hold for KL Rahul as well?
No,
Well, he
he's
needs rub of
he's
green,
been
rub
given
of brown,
as
every
long as
color.
he's been given as long a run as anybody can.
Uh, let's hope whether KL Rahul still gets another
Mm.
opportunity to
So next is this is something
represent
that
India.
Harsha Bogle tweeted, and
This is epic.
man,
This is epic.
Yes.
this guy is genius and hilarious at the same time.
absolutely, and it's just uh
Oh, he's dropped off
It
again.
was a clean sweep for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, see, Australia were leading by 1 run after the end of first inning, and at the end of second day they were leading by 60 odd runs at loss of 1 wicket. And to bat on Arun Jaitley Stadium, fourth innings would have been real challenging. And
Mm.
if only they had put on 150, 200 score for the final innings target, things would have been different, right? But Jadeja and company had some different plans. They
Mm.
just ran through all the Aussie batters, and we had a meager 115 to chase. So yeah, out of the seven wickets that Jadeja took in the second innings, five of them were clean bowled. They
Yeah.
rattled
while sweeping.
while sweeping, yes, and you can see
Well,
that
but
the
see,
sweep
I
didn't
don't know.
help them.
There's been a lot of hue and cry about sweeping. Okay, and in all fairness, that is valid, because if you see Alex Carey, he got out reverse sweeping thrice out of the 4 innings that he has played.
Yeah,
But then maybe
yeah.
there was a point of time in Australian dressing room, they sat around, they were like, we keep playing with straight bats, and anyways we are getting out. So let's try a different thing. Let's try sweeping and see if we can survive. Because the first day of this test, and it was Usman Khwaja who showed them that you can survive sweeping. Though it was a very risky and dangerous outing that he had, but he survived and he scored a good amount of runs there. So I think that was probably one of the thought behind sweeping, but then it was blind sweeping. They were just sweeping anything and everything.
Exactly. So as Harsha Bogle is trying to mention here, you sweep, then
Yeah.
you weep, right?
Yeah. And talking about sweeps, there was also a lot of sweep on Twitter, Arti, about KL Rahul.
You keep coming back to Raut.
I love to, and
Yeah.
so does one of our own ex legends, Mr. Venkatesh Prasad.
Yeah, no, and so does the Indian management. They also keep coming back to Rahul. There are many other options, but that's where we keep going back.
they love to.
All right. So now that we are on this topic of Indian batting, this is the next tweet from Wasim Jafar. This guy is also another hilarious person out there on Twitter. So what he says
We
is
already,
there's
yeah, so we
a
already discussed about this in our last
yeah,
episode. Once you are past the top order, you have Jadeja, Akshar, and Ashwin to deal with. So you are never short of batters, and I dare say now Ashwin, Jadeja, and Akshar could be termed as lower order or say tailenders. You would never term that, right?
true.
These are proper
Absolutely.
top order. I mean, our middle order is an extended middle order now. I
Yeah,
would say
yeah.
Exactly. And Nathan Lyon himself said it, and he nailed it when he
exactly.
said
Yes.
that India doesn't have a lower order or a tail. There is no tail. It's just an extended middle order.
And how long? I mean, it has been almost 3 to 5 years. The middle order have been performing consistently. I mean, we are never short of expectations from them. If at all Jadeja is into bat or Akshar is into bat and
True,
Ashwin
true.
comes to bat, we are always hopeful that they'll pull it out.
Yeah.
They'll stitch a good partnership. Rather, what happens is lately we have stopped expecting from the top orders that they'll perform. We are
No,
just
so
used to it now,
yeah,
right?
even our top
That
order has been consistent in that
that's
sense.
because top order has Rahul.
Oh man, I hope Rahul doesn't see our video. At least not yet.
No, I would want him to see that, and probably it might pump him up.
Okay, so this
Oh,
next one
See, we
is
are all fans. We are all fans. If he scores 100, if he scores 100 and people go bashing at us, I'd be more than happy to have that.
yeah. So this next meme is a real funny one, but so Indians will surely be able to relate to this. Well, this is
Yeah,
from that
absolutely.
what movie was this? I keep
Dhamal,
forgetting. Dhamal, yeah.
Dhamal.
Oh,
uh,
how
This is
Australia
a
started
hilarious
planning
movie,
it
and
out.
this is a hilarious meme.
Yeah.
see, it actually depicts that Australia were so much focused when the tour started. They were so sure that they do not want a tour game. They are happy with whatever practices that they are doing on their own. And halfway through the tour, you could see what's happening. They are two down and they are absolutely clueless on how to handle the Indian spinners.
That's true. Oh, Jaffa, he's back.
Jaffa is back.
The reason behind India's home dominance is simple. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. What he says is bang on. So we have spinners
Absolutely.
who
Yeah,
outbowl their spinners and then spinners who outbat their batters also. And ours also, actually.
And our quicks out bowling, their quicks is something which we are so proud of.
Yeah, yes, that's so true. And that has been
and
one
the
of the reason why we have been successful even on away tours now. I mean, India was always difficult to beat on home soil, but we've been successful. We've been beating them in their on their home soil now. Full credit
absolutely,
to our
Bhumit.
quicks.
And this all started under Virat Kohli. Uh, he was of the opinion that we'll have to win on the away tours as well, and ensured that all the pace bowlers got a good run, a good
Hmm.
opportunity, a very long rope, and um, we can see the results, right? It is never an overnight process. Rome was never built in a day, and as we say, champions are never created overnight. We have actually gone through a lot of struggle, a lot of determination, and the results are showing.
Yeah.
The struggle is evident in my internet connection and laptop today. I'm
Yeah,
constantly going off, connecting back. I'm sorry for that.
Well,
Bhavik,
hopefully
that
after all
happens
this
with our
struggle,
top order.
yeah, I hope after all the struggles that you are facing, you do become the number one YouTuber and podcaster.
Fingers crossed.
All right, the next. Oh, that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well
Well done.
done.
It says QA team
There
report.
goes my computer again.
QA team reporting 25 bugs
Oh,
in
I
my
can relate to
code.
this.
Oh
I can
my
definitely relate
God.
to this. Hilarious. Okay. What's the next one? Oh, so the girl's asking what's the formula for oxygen, and Steve Smith says it's O2, and that's seen in his scorecard.
I must say this memes creator, they are freaking genius.
Uh,
Not
Absolutely. It's a business by itself, and you got to be genius in that, right? You
okay.
cannot create memes day in and day out. Okay, so what does it say?
Oh, this is Mohammad Shami. He scored 37 of 47, and Australian batters are like, how do you do that, man? Well, the answer is not sweeping. He didn't sweep much, did he?
no, he didn't. He did
No.
slog swept
Rather,
one or
yeah.
two, but not many.
So maybe they should try slogging now next match rather than sweeping.
That's all they were doing.
Um, this is another funny one.
This is
5 stages of airport.
I could say that I am Nathan Lyon at the moment.
Uh,
Luckily, I'm in Jadeja's shade, but only my color shade of the hair is different.
Then you are going to perform at the top of your game, Bhavik.
a real all round. Oh, Nitin Menon. Poor guy, poor guy.
Yeah.
So, okay, while there has been a lot of hue and cry about him, to be fair, it went upstairs for review, and even the third umpire gave him out. So, we'll give
No,
some.
but talking about when we're talking about Nitin Menon, I would also like to say the overall umpiring.
Oh,
in
that's true.
That was pretty much ordinary.
That is true. That is correct.
Bhavik,
I think
Bhumit, see what happens is it's a pretty demanding job, and
Yeah.
your concentration level has to be optimum at your best, and to concentrate for 5 continuous days of 90 overs a
Mm.
day, just stand in a position and um, I mean, see, for us it's easy when we see the replays, and to have it true at the first instance, it's always challenging, and it's a thankless job. When you are giving the right decisions, it's your job. But when you are not giving the right decisions, what decisions you are giving, and it happens.
But then, see, we expect the same from our players also. And I guess Nitin Menon knows his job. ICC knows what they are recruiting umpires for. So when you know
Absolutely.
what you are supposed to do, I think that is part and parcel of his job, and he should be prepared to have that. Otherwise, he shouldn't even apply for this levels umpiring, right?
and
It's not about applying. He is number one
Yeah, I
umpire
mean,
from
that's
India,
true.
and
It was
he is in the ICC panel.
yeah,
So
probably will give him a benefit of doubt. Probably one bad game for him,
yeah.
but let's see. Yeah, and by the way,
yeah,
that
but
talks about another
I'm
legend
little.
also, Steve Buckner.
He,
Oh,
in his later
Steve
years,
Buckner.
he was pretty much miserable.
I thought you would say in his later years he became a legend.
You can say that. Those
Uh,
miserabilities made him the legend.
the decisions which actually came against Tendulkar's made him the legend.
Hmm.
Legend
Absolutely.
taking a legend.
Wow, this next one. This is some stats for Jadeja.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
Batting
After
truly in the.
at the top.
2007, right? This is what we were discussing.
And
Jadeja
this still
by
doesn't show his contribution with the fielding,
Yeah.
absolutely.
what
Yes.
he brings on the table with that. And I remember Arsha Bogle quoting this in his on air commentary, that when he in Jadeja's early days, when he interviewed Jadeja himself has always seen himself as a batting all rounder.
MS Dhoni, who basically uh, asked people, the fans, to stay patient with him, because one day he'll come out as an all rounder. With that, it just actually pops up a question now that KL Rahul isn't the vice captain anymore.
Yeah.
Uh, Who do you see replacing him as the vice captain? Would it be Ravindra Jadeja?
Tricky one.
Well, I mean, just although it was IPL, but I just get the feeling Jadeja is more comfortable being a player only.
So, but my thoughts on that is, I think management is just playing with our feelings. At the end of the day, it will be Rahul will be back as vice captain and he'll play all the games. Anyways, all right. So let's quickly move on to this one now. Since we are on Rahul's topic, this has been his wagon wheel.
Bit harsh on him, but yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man.
it's been that kind of last few series for him.
Yeah. And this is another funny one. This is day 4 of India versus Australia
Oh
live
my
from
God.
the ground.
But what it also shows is why you can't see that as photo edit is because Arun Jaitley Stadium is not in a
Yeah.
very good state of affairs.
So this is something they've taken up from the Sholay movie that's very famous here in India. It's like they are just planning and giving wrong ideas to the Australians that after Kohli and all left and all the other injuries, India were able to win the BGT in Australia. So that's what
Yeah,
Australia are now doing. The captain left and the
But
others are getting injured. Hey, we are back to Rahul. Pretending I know to play.
favorite topic for Bhavik.
Oh man. All right, we just have last few here. This is okay.
this
This
is what I was talking
this,
about.
this was an ugly
Venkatesh.
war that happened
Yeah.
between Venki and Akash Chopra, but
Akash Chopra, yeah.
yeah, some
But
steps
Venki
from
had a point. I mean, I
yeah,
with
yeah,
all due respect to Akash, I think Venkatesh Prasad had a point,
hmm,
and I think the stats show that Rahul hasn't been very consistent over the last many tests, and I think just that he's been taken off vice captaincy is probably a very good indicator that he might not be playing the next match,
hmm,
at least the next match.
And see,
and
basically, you do
the,
not take down players from your own state, right? Venkatesh and Rahul both
yeah,
represented Karnataka, and
True.
um, um, as a neutral analyst or a critic, he has taken right on to KL Rahul, and what
and
he
that's
says makes all the sense.
yeah, and that's his stats there, which look pretty miserable. I mean, he scored 300 and 350s, but then the problem is he hasn't been able to capitalize on the centuries and continue his form. Every time he scores a century, he comes and hits another string of
Rough
flops.
patch, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's been worrying for Rahul. This is our last one, and of course, we have to end it with Harsha Bhogle's comment.
He also is suggesting to be playing
Yeah.
Shubman Gill, which I've been suggesting from test one. Come
Yeah, man,
on.
and come on, yaar. Shubman Gill has been scoring runs. He's riding on his luck and form right now on century in
Absolutely.
Bangladesh Test match, a double ton in ODIs, and then a century in T20s. What more do you want from him? Give him a chance, man. Let's see if even he might fail. Right? Come on, that's in
Yeah, yeah.
all practicality that's possible. But then at
And
least
while,
Rahul is
yeah, yeah,
failing anyways. Let's take a chance with Gill.
absolutely. And when you're talking about failures, let's face it that even for that matter, for last 3 years, as we were talking a few minutes earlier,
Hmm.
even Pujara and Kohli have not had the greatest of years in last 3 years. So yes, Rahul will get his chance again. So will my video.
We can also see that the ODI team is announced for the India Australia
Yeah,
series, and the only options we have in keeping is Ishan
Ishan
Kishan
Kishan.
and KL
Yes.
Rahul.
Yeah.
So we still have KL Rahul to. I mean, it's still going to be a part
Yeah.
of Indian team for a long time now.
All right, guys. I think it was a fun episode. Going through all the tweets and memes, and we'll soon be back. But till then, everyone watching out this video, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe our videos. That helps us with the YouTube algorithm and also the other stuff. We just like to get the love and warmth that you guys give. So that's it from our side for this episode. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining, and we'll soon be back with another amazing episode. Till then, goodbye and take care.
Take care, guys. Have a nice day.